third episode of the Big City Podcast. Today I have with me Vuk Dulanovic. How are you, Vuk?
Good, Anton.
Good?
How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Tell me a bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. Okay, so my name is Vuk Dulanovic. Vuk means wolf.
Nice.
I was born in Serbia. My parents moved when I was 4. We came here, started a new life, and went to school. Junior high school, high school. I went to university, went to the U of T for mechanical engineering. I like long walks on the beach. I like the sun, so I'm very happy that it's another sunny day.
It's beautiful out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And I love getting to know different people from different parts of the world. I'm married. I have 2 kids.
Nice.
2 daughters.
Beautiful.
So a house full of princesses.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
the
of
spirit.
fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. So how'd you get into real estate?
So it started off as kind of an investment view or angle. I read the book by Robert Kiyosaki called Rich Dad Poor Dad. Essentially, the gist of the book is that, you have to find ways to generate income through passive means, or else you'll work for the rest of your life. So that kind of made sense to me. And at the time, the person I was working with, he was an investor. He owned multiple multi-unit buildings in the U.S. This was around 2012. That's when he was kind of acquiring property, which was the perfect time to buy. That was the bottom of the market. And I kind of followed along his process while we were working together on an unrelated thing. It had to do with engineering. We were doing a project, but this is what he was doing part-time. So I thought to myself, maybe I could do that. So started there, and then one thing led to another. I really liked it. I liked the fact that, there's a lot of opportunity that can be created depending on the way that you look at things. And that fortune favors the bold, right? And if you're able to take risk and you know how to manage your own emotions through that, you can do a lot of good things and a lot of big things. And for me, that was a way to kind of break out of a ceiling that was set for me in my corporate days. There's always a ceiling. With that ceiling comes the comfort of knowing that you can't go down either. You can't go that high up, but you probably won't go down.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? Aside from those outlier events where you lose your job and that kind of thing. But that's kind of how I got into it.
You said you studied mechanical engineering.
Yes.
Which university?
U of T. University of Toronto.
Why did you decide to switch from engineering to a full-time real estate agent, to become a full-time real estate agent?
The main reason was because
You wanted to escape that 9 to 5, or as you said, the ceiling. You wanted to escape that ceiling limit that you had. Is that one of the reasons?
That was one of the reasons. I liked my job. I liked what I was doing. But I also felt like my biggest fear is not living up to my own potential.
I see.
And I felt like I wasn't living up to my own potential in that role that I was in. And I thought that maybe real estate could give me that opportunity. Like I said, it allows you to meet a lot of different people from different parts of the world that do different things. And I like to learn from others' experiences and apply them to my own life. So that was kind of the main reason. Plus, I had a daughter. She had just been born. I thought to myself, if I don't try this new career now, it's probably going to get more and more difficult because now I'm going to have more dependents.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Where taking that risk now becomes a little bit, less appealing.
Of course. Okay, so why Big City Realty? What's so unique about our brokerage?
Narcissus.
Yeah.
He's the genesis, right, of Big City Realty. I've known Narcissus a long time, since high school, since, back when we were the troubled youth,
Yeah, he tells me stories of the naughtiness you guys did in high school, or playing basketball at Crossroads, or even at the Armenian Community Center, the things you guys used to do. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're happy to be here. So am I. This is the best place to be.
Yep.
As you said, the main factor of Big City, of why Big City is the best brokerage to be, is Narcissus. He basically treats me like a little brother, treats you like a brother. It's the best place to be. Moving on from that, have you had any bad experiences or good experiences as an investor in real estate?
Definitely.
When it comes to the rental market?
Definitely. Yeah, if you're going to own property and you're going to rent out property, you have to make one of two decisions. Either you're going to decide to be fully involved with every decision that needs to be made, regardless of the time or day that it needs to be made, or you're going to pass it off to somebody who's a professional, who does it, who manages portfolios, that you can then become a truly passive investor. So you got to decide, if you're going to own property, which one of those you are, or which one of those you'd like to be. There's no in between.
Okay. From what I remember, I think you owned properties, investment properties, and you would lease it out before you were an agent.
Yes.
Have you ever had bad experiences dealing with tenants?
Those were my worst experiences.
Do you want to share one of them?
I mean, there's a couple. I mean, the worst one kind of came out of desperation. As an investor, you have costs, and real estate being what it is today costs more and more and more.
Yeah.
And so the longer you have to carry a property before it's filled, the more it's going to hurt, and the harder it's going to be to get your money back. Mm-hmm. And so what novice investors do, or like people that aren't maybe necessarily doing it professionally, but kind of doing it on the side, is that they don't plan out for how they're going to cover that potential vacancy at the beginning. And then they get into a position where they kind of give it to the next person that walks through the door. Mm. And that is where you kind of fall into traps.
I see. Okay. How crucial it is to let a professional handle your rental transactions or leasing out your rental properties?
I mean, for the cost that's associated of the property management, I think it gives you peace of mind, and it's worth its weight in gold. Like there's nothing more important now when you have a lot of things going on in life than peace of mind. And if you're doing something unrelated to real estate, my kind of recommendation, because if I was talking to myself 8 years ago, I would have recommended this to myself and said, for your own peace of mind, so that you can go and focus on the next thing, give this task of leasing out, because it's relatively, like, I'm not going to say it's mindless work, but it's repetitive work that kind of goes through the same process. Yeah. You vet the person. And if you have a process to vet the person, you're more than likely going to find all the little things that you don't want as a landlord, and now you can move on. Yeah. But if you're not doing it every day, every time with a process, you'll miss things.
Of course.
And so that peace of mind is the most important thing. And it's worth the price of admission for property management, because like I said, then you go and focus on the next property or the next project that you have at work, mm-hmm. Let your money build, and now you've had all this extra time, this extra mind space to go and make the next big decision.
So, now that Vuk mentioned that, I would like to say that Big City also has a sister company that's called Big City Property Management, where not only we help you lease your unit or house or basement apartment or whatever it is, we also manage it for you, whether it's maintenance or vetting the tenants, or something breaks in the house, they need a new light bulb, they don't contact you, they contact us and we deal with it. So if you have any questions, please comment down below. Moving on from that, Vuk, I've been asking whoever's been on the podcast this question, I would like to ask you as well. What's your favorite master plan community project?
My favorite master plan community project right now?
Yes. Or previous, it doesn't matter.
I mean, when you say master plan, that's a pretty broad term these days. There's lots of them.
So which one's your favorite? Elliot's was Harbor Walk in Mississauga.
Yep.
Narcissus was Union City and Gallery Square.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Union City and Gallery Square, or just Union City?
Both of them. Anything in downtown Markham.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on your time frame and your outlook. I would say that Union City presents a really, I think, long runway for appreciation, given that it's the first of 9 buildings. There's no other master plan community that's selling that early in the development. But aside from that, I would say that Raglan House, being in the downtown core, being where it is, where there's been very little development for a long time, there's a missing kind of gap, I think, in the market there, and that's what Raglan House is bringing, and it's basically also the first of its kind, more or less, in that pocket where it is. And so it presents an opportunity. It's a different price point, so it's a little bit harder for certain people to digest it, but it has just as big of a runway as the Union City, opportunity. It's just, I would say, for a different level of experience.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, thank you, Vuk, for coming out today.
Yeah.
Appreciate this conversation.
That's great.
Also, I would like to thank our, how do I say this?
Sponsors?
No, not sponsors. The people that tuned in, we appreciate you guys.
Our listeners.
Our listeners,
watchers.
there we go.
Yes, appreciate it.
Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And also, if you could follow us on Spotify, that would help us greatly. Have a wonderful day. See you guys next week.